Hi, this is Jenna.
And this is Heather.
And this is Conspiracies Unlocked. And welcome to our second Bonasode.
Woo!
Woo! And if you didn't notice in our show notes from our last Bonasode, I made a drinking game. So if you go look at it, it'll say that it'll have take a drink every time that Heather says Survivor.
Yeah, because I did say Survivor approximately 14 times.
And then I had every time that I said or I referred to Heather as a dumbass, an idiot, what the fuck, take a drink.
Take a drink.
Because that was like the most funniest episode. Oh my gosh. You guys should, if you haven't heard the Bonasode, number 1, you definitely need to go do it now. Like almost pause this and go back over there and you can come back here later. Seriously, it's fucking hilarious.
I don't think that I've laughed that hard in a long time.
Yeah, like me neither.
Right
now. Yeah, Bonasodes are fun though, I think. So, we will do a drinking game probably at the end of every Bonasode. So look in the show notes and see what it is this time.
We'll figure it out as we go along.
Right? Okay, so it was Valentine's Day this week. What did you do? Did you have a Valentine?
I had 2 Valentines.
Ooh.
So my children were my Valentines.
I'm sure a lot of people can relate.
Yes. So we had a pretty low-key Valentine's Day. We basically just did, I did self-care. I had 2 amalgam fillings that I switched over to composite for aesthetic reasons. For those who don't know, amalgam fillings are like the darker kind of silver ones. And I want everything to be, look like teeth color, white in my mouth.
Yellowish,
brown,
just not black.
Not black, but we're gonna go for sparkly white teeth, healthy. And so now all my teeth are composite. So I did that for myself for my Valentine's Day present. And then for my children, I have 2, and my son really wanted a Coronis Zen controller adapter. For those who are gamers, I believe this is for his Xbox. So he has a whole system that he's working on in his room, and this is another piece that he needed for that.
So you actually get your kids real freaking Valentine's Day presents.
Well, I just figure now that they're teenagers, I can go to the store and I can get a bunch of little plushies and stuff that's going to add up to $100, or I can just say, you have $100, what do you want? And then they just tell me what they need or what they want.
Okay. Okay.
And
sure,
then,
why not?
And then, they do still get little things like candies and jewelry and lip gloss and little things like that also from Cupid, but that's the present from me. And then my daughter, she really wanted to get Nike Blazers. For all you sneakerheads out there, she went for the Nike Blazer mid 77s. And these are her first pair of Nikes. She's always been a Vans girl.
Oh wow!
Always been down for the Vans, and now
what happened? Why is Nike suddenly a thing?
She just likes it because it kind of looks like a Converse, and
she
likes Converse also. But this is just
must be the new popular thing then, guys. Guys, if you want to be hip and cool, I guess that's the new thing for all the 14-year-olds. And her birthday's coming up too.
Yeah, her birthday's coming.
What are you gonna do for that?
So her birthday's present is already paid for. She's going on a trip to New York City and DC with her school.
School trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, Heather's not rich, not sending her child to New York just for her birthday.
No, this is a school trip. And so it's $3,000 total approximately. And so at Christmas, because she wanted to go, and I'm like, okay, so that's going to be your Christmas present, your birthday present,
Graduation gift for 8th grade graduation. Everything is just graduation.
It's kind of
everything.
Combined, and she's cool with it. So that's basically, she'll still get some
few
stuff,
things, but not huge.
Yeah, no. What about you? What did you do for Valentine's?
Valentine's Day was I went to lunch with my husband because that's the only time we can be alone. And then without kids, because all the kids are everywhere, the kids had their Valentine's Day at their school, which I told Max that it was my favorite day at school, was always Valentine's Day. It's so, like, just fun. You just have a fun day, and there's heart-shaped cookies, and it's just like a Valentine's Day party all day, and it's just like a fuck-off day at school. It's great. I love it. I love Valentine's Day at school. That is definitely my favorite holiday over Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, everything at school.
Yeah.
At school.
Yeah.
So, it's the most fun school day ever. So I got the kids all pumped up for that, and then they went and they came back with so much shit, Heather. You know how when we were little, it'd be a little paper card that's like, I really woof you, and it's a little puppy dog or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, they do that inside their gift bag that every freaking parent gives now. I mean, I did it, but I didn't think everybody would do it.
Yeah.
So, like, they got pencils, they got little paper airplane, like those little gliders, the foam glider things. They got Play-Doh, cars, sticky hands. Like, plus candy. It was fucking insane.
So everybody just goes to Party City and gets, like, a bunch of little toys and candies and...
Oh my gosh, Max even got a whole art kit thing. Like, a $5 art kit thing from Michael's.
Wow.
It's like you know those little things that they're like little not cardboard but wood, and they have the little picture on it, and then they come with the crayons and everything, glitter crayons or markers, and you...
Yeah. Wow. So I'm so
People
glad.
are freaking crazy. How am I supposed to keep up with this with 3 kids?
I was just thinking, I'm so glad my kids are not little anymore because, I was like, okay, they got $100 each for their Valentine's Day present, and then I'm thinking, well, maybe that's a lot, but I'm thinking, well, no, you have 3 kids and you have to do goodie bags for each classroom. You're paying well over $100 each or something.
So I didn't do Party City. I went to the dollar store.
Still, it's like $1.25 now.
I know, the $1.25 store I went to, and I got like as much as I could there, just to, so all in all, and then I had to go back because I ended up not having enough. And then they were out of everything, so then I kind of had to reset everything.
Oh my god!
I know. Oh, it was such a nightmare. So I ended up all in all, like, probably spending like $50 total. It wasn't that bad, but still,
that's pretty good for 3 kids.
Then I'm not done, because then I wasn't gonna get them anything at all for Valentine's Day. But then I started to feel bad halfway through the day, so I ended up going to the Five Below store and getting them each just little things, and they ended up. So I ended up spending like $20 there. So all in all, it was like not hugely bad, but God, I just get guilted into doing all this shit, and they have so much crap. They have so many toys. We have 3 of everything, guys. 3. So you can't just have 1 skateboard or 2 skateboards. No, you need 3 skateboards, 3 scooters, 3 cars, and they all have to be exactly the same, or they fight over them. Yeah. Even though they don't care about them, because all 3 of my boys, don't forget, are like almost the same age. They're all 18 months apart to the day, almost.
No, I mean, I understand that, because even with my kids, they're, I think, about 15 months apart, and even though it's like different genders, it doesn't matter. Even when they were little, I had to get like 2 of everything.
Yeah. And then when you do that, nobody wants it at that point. Nobody cares about it, because there's nothing to fight over. I swear to God, it's a freaking nightmare. So, anyways, all right, so on to our Bonasode episode that, so it's kind of a conspiracy within a conspiracy.
Ooh, I like that.
And we're doing Disney.
Yay!
I
love Disney one.
Disney's my favorite. Okay, so most people know about the first conspiracy theory, and that is that Walt Disney's head is frozen.
Oh,
or his whole body or his head is frozen. Mm-hmm. So Walt Disney was born on December 5th, 1901, and he died December 15th, 1966. So he is 65 years old and 10 days. Isn't that crazy how
I can't
people...
believe he was born in 01.
I know.
That's crazy.
It just seems like so long ago, and it was. It was 122 years ago. 01 was.
Wow.
Yeah. So anyways, he died of lung cancer.
Aw.
And, so the first conspiracy, like I said, it's a conspiracy within a conspiracy. People believed that he had his body or just his head had been cryogenically frozen in a cryonic chamber full of liquid nitrogen. And some say his body and or head is located underneath the Pirates of the Caribbean ride.
No.
Yeah. And there is a whole underground tunnel system in Disneyland. Like, that's a fact. That's not just so they can get places quicker, characters and just workers, just cast members in general, so they can get to, like, Tomorrowland very quickly without having to deal with the crowd.
I've been on that ride so many times, and you kind of do get an eerie feeling anyway, just because of all the, like, the pirate bones and stuff.
Yeah.
And just to think that he could be under there frozen.
Yeah, so that's
creepy.
And you know that all the bones used to be real in the Pirates of the Caribbean?
No.
They got them all from UCLA.
Shut up.
From, like, their research department or whatever. And then they slowly, like, got rid of all the real bones, but the skull that is above the bed, it's either the skull that's on the bed, like that person, or it's the skull that's, like, above the bed. One of those is still real. That's a real human skull. So that could be why you're feeling eerie. And you know what would have been really cool is if they used Walt Disney's head for that.
Well,
that would be so amazing.
But they couldn't if his head is frozen.
Yeah,
they wouldn't be able to.
The reason why that conspiracy is, the purpose was to bring him back to life later. Once technology had advanced to where you could do that. So we're not even...
Would they reattach his head to his body?
I don't know if it would be like a floating Madame Tussauds type thing. Madame Leota from Haunted Mansion type thing.
Yeah.
Or that's why it changed to his whole body.
Or maybe they would use a younger body so he could live
and his
long,
head
but his brain,
because I think the brain is the main purpose of everything. I don't know. Technology hasn't gotten there yet, so we don't know. But according to the death certificate, Disney's body was cremated, and he is currently in the Forest Lawn Cemetery in the Disney Family Mausoleum in Glendale, California. So supposedly he's been cremated 2 days after his death. So whether that's true or not, and Walt Disney's family claims that he's not frozen. His daughter even said, his daughter Diane had said that she doubts that her dad even knew about cryogenics at that point. Like, that was even, like, a thing that would be happening, freezing people or things, or, you know, that technology hadn't even gotten that far yet at that point.
What year did he pass?
1966. I think that was right when they were starting to experiment with stuff like that. I don't think it was even thought of that... To even think to put a dead person there to freeze their head and bring it back later. I don't think that kind of AI had even been thought of yet. So, so that is the conspiracy. Now, the conspiracy within that conspiracy is that his family got sick of people Googling that Walt Disney's head is frozen and Walt Disney is somewhere in a chamber frozen.
Yeah, like false information.
Yeah, they got sick of it.
Yeah.
So they came out with the movie Frozen and named it Frozen. So that way when people would search Disney Frozen, it would come out with it would come out with just the books, the movies, the merchandise. It would be all about the movie Frozen instead of Disney Frozen. Disney being Frozen.
That's really interesting.
And it would automatically reset the algorithms of Google search and just bury it. And there's like people who do that for a living. You can call companies to be like, hey, there's this picture on the internet that I don't like, and they can bury it by putting in all this fake stuff, or you know, so when people search, it comes up with something completely different.
Yeah.
So it's almost like they did that without having to pay a company, because it's us, the people, that are now Googling Disney Frozen.
Yeah, that makes sense, because you would put in Disney Frozen and you would see like Olaf and Elsa and like all of the characters. You're not going to see his, you know,
unless
Walt Disney.
you actually put Walt Disney's head frozen, body frozen. Like, you have to put in more words than just Disney Frozen, or even Walt Disney Frozen. It would be Walt Disney Frozen. Yeah, you'd have
to be really more specific.
You have to be very specific. And so that was a way to kind of bury that, so that, because I think that what was happening was anytime that you put in Walt Disney, even without Frozen, those would start to come up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because back when the internet first started, it wasn't so like prevalent, like all these to like Google Disney movies, and you know, right?
That's crazy. I wonder if he really is frozen underneath there, though.
I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, I don't know. I've heard that conspiracy since I was a kid. Not even that it's under or anywhere near Disneyland, just that he is frozen. I've been hearing that since I was a kid.
I think
that's been like 30 years for sure.
I never really heard it before, but I think I did hear of someone in another country. I'm not gonna even get into it because I don't remember all the details, that they donated their body to science, and this other country tried to reattach the person's head.
Frankenstein?
Yeah, but it failed. It failed.
Obviously
It failed.
Yeah.
Like it failed like immediately, like it failed, and we'd have to like look it up to see exactly what it is. But yeah, it did not work at all.
Yeah.
Like you said, the technology is not there, but someone donated their body to science
figure it out.
Yeah, to figure it out. Well, they donated their body to science for whatever, and that's what they did with it.
Oh. I thought that was like the specific. I want my body donated to be frozen to see if it'll work. Good luck, guys. See you soon.
I don't know if they did or not, but I do know that they tried on someone and it didn't. It was a male and it did not work.
I think that if it did work, okay. So remember when we were doing the whole groundhog thing, and I was like researching about groundhogs?
Yes.
I found out that when they hibernate, their body goes down. Their heart rate almost goes down to like 14 beats per minute, and just everything becomes super slow, and that's why they're able to hibernate and not eat for months, because they're not needing so much stuff. Well, their body temperature drops as well, and they pretty much like they're almost like frozen, like they go into like kind of like a
like a hyper sleep.
Yeah, like a hyper sleep, like a cryonic chamber type sleep, like cryogenic, like they almost get like kind of, they freeze themselves almost, just to make everything stop. I'm wondering if people were to do this, if they would have to do it before they died. You know what I mean? Like, would they have to still be alive when they are frozen and just put them into like a hyper sleep? Or because once you're dead, how are you gonna bring back
How you can bring back that spark? Or I don't know, some people call it a soul,
the spark, whatever
it is, that energy. How are you going to revive that? I guess
your energy would have to want to go back to its body when the body got revived. I mean, like, I don't think that,
how would they do that?
I don't know.
So let's say if they took a new body and they put somebody's head on it. Let's say if it's just the head and they use a new body for just so the body's like younger and healthier, you know, but you still have the same old face. So weird.
You would put what would happen is, I think that what would happen is that you would have to reattach. You'd have the new head as well, but you would have
just put the brain in?
But you would also have to have the spinal cord, because all the tendons and all the neurotransmitters, it's all connected, like your fingers, so that's how you move everything.
Yeah.
So how would that even work? So you would have to know, it would have to be the whole body would have to be frozen, intact. And you would have to go into like some sort of deep sleep where your body thinks it's only been, you know, like a couple seconds, when in reality it's been a couple years.
I mean, that makes more sense to what you're saying, because once you remove the head, you're kind of donezo.
Like, there's no coming back.
Like,
from
how
that.
do you reattach a head?
Because we don't really know what nerves go to what things, right? Like in the brain and stuff.
Well, they know what nerves go to what, but I mean,
but like from the brain connecting down to the spine.
Yeah, they know that shit. They already know.
They know which ones. Because when they go in for brain surgery, they don't know. They don't know that this.
They have to know.
They don't.
Yes, they do. There's neurologists. They know.
No, they know things are going, but they don't know like. They don't know, like, oh, if I take out this piece of your brain, you're not going to know the word the anymore. You're not going to be able to speak anymore.
They have to know.
No,
that.
They don't know.
I think
Brad's friend, whenever had an aneurysm, and he had to have some of his brain taken out, and they didn't know if he'd walk again. They didn't know what was going to be affected by it. They didn't know if he would even survive, because they don't know anything about the brain, like what exactly does what. They know this section they think is for cognitive, and like left is for
Yeah.
and then right is for like more thinking. And the only reason why they know that is because neurologists can see that side lighting up when they're asked math problems, and this side lighting up when they're asked to draw something. That's the only thing. They don't know, like, oh, this piece of your sliver of brain is responsible for writing.
I think that they have a general idea of like the mapping of the brain, though. I thought it was the chemicals that they didn't know as much about. Like, you know, if they're trying to give you something for anxiety or something for whatever, that it's harder for them to get it right because they really don't know exactly how it's going to affect you because they are doctors. They are practice. So I would say this is your practice because they're practicing. They're learning. Medicine is always evolving and changing. We're always learning.
You're always learning about.
Thought they had the brain more mapped out than that.
I don't think that they have it more mapped out. I think that's it.
Because they can do MRIs and stuff.
Yeah,
and
so they just see the blood flow,
the tissue.
They see, the tissue and stuff. But there's not like a marker on there. There's not, you know, like this neuron right here.
Speech, this circle is for
they have a general idea because when, like right now I'm talking, so if I was hooked up to a machine, like an MRI machine or whatever machine that would pick up on the signals in there, then it would like light up in certain areas. So they're like, okay, obviously this over here is lighting up on the screen. It's like doing things. So obviously this is for speech, but we don't know what part of speech. Is that me hearing? Is that audio, or is that me outputting speech? Is it receiving, or you know what I mean? Like they don't know what exactly is turning, which part of.
I guess that makes sense because what do they say that we only use like 10% of our brain?
If that, I'm sure it's if that, yeah.
And that we are capable of so much more and doing so much more, but we just haven't learned how to like tap into it. And maybe some people can with meditation and different things, and that's a whole nother thing. But we really don't use as much as we could.
And I bet that's why some people are like really smart and some people are like really dumb, because the really dumb ones are only using like 3% of their brains and the really smart ones are probably using 10%. And I think that we're probably using like 7 or 8%. I think that we're pretty fucking smart.
I think that I feel like I'm intelligent, but I also feel like a lot of times I am one of those people that's just on autopilot. Like, you wake up, it's like same thing. Wake up, alarm goes off. You gotta do this. You gotta, like, just your mundane, like...
Yeah, your mundane life.
Like,
and then
it's just like an autopilot thing.
Yeah, and then something happens and you're like, I don't know what to do. This isn't part of, like, today when I was leaving my house. I live on top of a like a hill type thing, and I was on the phone with Heather leaving my house, and I get to the bottom and it goes on this really busy street and I need to turn right, but and there's 2 lanes, and the first right lane is blocked because they're doing road construction that I didn't know about, and all these cars, it's like 50 miles an hour, all these cars are passing, but they're all like, it was 8 in the morning, so everyone's out on the road trying to get to work or school, and I couldn't get through, and finally I couldn't do it. I was like, I don't understand how this works. Like,
your autopilot turned off.
Yeah,
you had to go your reasoning. You had to like use your logic and reasoning.
I had to go from autopilot to manual, and I'm like, fuck, I don't know how to do this. I just want to get to coffee. Like, I'm literally like, my car just goes to coffee. It leaves my house and goes to coffee. What the fuck is this? I have to think? No, this ain't gonna work out. And so actually I waited for like 5 minutes, and then all of a sudden I tell Heather, hold on, I gotta talk to the construction people, and she's like, what the fuck?
I thought you meant at your house, like you were doing construction at your house. I'm like, what happened now?
Yeah, like everything's always breaking anyways, water heaters left and right. But no, so the construction guys...
You and me both.
The construction guys literally came and moved the orange cone so I could use and get my own special lane, because I was like, I don't know what to do. Like,
of course you got your own special lane.
And so I had to roll down the window and be like, I'm sorry guys, like it's a really bad morning, like I can't do this. And they were like, be careful, as I'm like trying to like jet out into traffic, and like,
you're all driving through their construction
I was driving through.
You're all like going over the manhole. You're all like, no.
Car looks good underneath here, miss.
Do you need an oil change?
Well, we're under here anyways. Yeah, it was like really bad. But they saw me struggling and they walked over and finally like helped me out.
Good thing you were in the box.
Oh my god, right? I was supposed to drive Heather's car because it's at my house back here, and she has a Scion. And I told her today, like, I'm not doing it. I'm too much on autopilot.
It's too low on the ground to try to go over construct. It'd be all. It's like lowered.
Yeah, I would never even known what to do. I had to be on autopilot this morning. Autopilot. Okay, well, anyways, that was our bonusode.
That's an example of how much of our brain power we're using.
None. 0. In the morning before coffee, it is at 0%, maybe 0.1 just to breathe and get to coffee. So I think that our drinking game should be every time that we said the word head.
Head, yeah.
Head.
Yeah.
We said head a lot.
Yeah,
I think head
a lot.
Yeah, so that's going to be it. We're going to put it, I guess we should have, now you guys will know, though, for the next time, to always look at show notes for the bonusodes.
Yeah, there's going to be something funny in the show notes.
Yeah, for sure. All right, cool. Well, that's our show. See you later, and thank you for listening, and
don't forget to share, like, and subscribe on wherever you listen to your podcast, because we should be all over the place by now.
Everything but iTunes.
iTunes?
I still am not on iTunes, so you need to help that. Hopefully we'll be on iTunes in the next 2 to 4 months. Bye.
Bye.